Hey everyone, Trent here.
Along with Julia.
And we've just come back from the Sydney screening of Detective Pikachu, where we got some awesome set of ears and a little hat to put on your head. Anyway, Detective Pikachu stars Ryan Reynolds, Justice Smith, and Catherine Newton in the lead roles, with a special appearance, surprisingly, by Bill Nighy.
I know, I wasn't expecting it and I loved it.
I laughed my head off when I saw his face, and I started singing Christmas all around me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what do we think of it? I personally enjoyed this movie a lot. Mm-hmm. There were some faults with it, but overall, the first 2/3 of the movie, fantastic. I could barely pick any flaws with it. The final act in when it was in the city and the plot started to come to fruition, you kind of identified some of the weak points. But overall, the CGI for the most part was fantastic. The story had a lot of heart and a lot of it drove the main plot, and it kind of made a lot of sense. We were dealing with Pokemon being controlled and drug dealing and a mysterious corporation. We get introduced to the villains, and there's twists and turns around every corner. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it as well. I absolutely loved the CGI in this. The Pokemon looked so real and so freaking cute. You just wanted to squish the fishes.
There were some really good designs. Some design choices that kind of took me back. I didn't expect a few Pokemon to look the way they did.
Yeah.
But once you get into it, you see the world that they built. It's fantastic.
The world building in this was fantastic. So heading into the city and learning about the premise of that city.
Yeah.
The development of
Rhyme City.
Rhyme City, yeah. The development of Justin Smith's character was really good. The last act did kind of let it down for me, and the revelation at the end was predictable.
Yes.
And had me going, okay, that's a little bit of a shortcut, but that's all right.
Yeah, it did feel like a big shortcut to a revelation, but it made sense in the overall story.
Sense. Overall story, it still worked.
Yes. Now, this is designed to be a kids' movie. A Pokemon movie is designed to be a kids' movie. I did not think it met that. I thought it was aimed for much older than what they were probably wanting it to be.
This is definitely probably early teen. I'd probably say so, like 12 and up, and maybe even a little bit older.
I'd say even older. There was a lot of exposition. Very exposition heavy. Some really quite dark moments in there that would terrify a lot of smaller children. And some, obviously, there's the adult jokes, but a lot of kids movies do have that humor in to keep the adults in.
Yep.
It was made for a wide variety of ages, but I just felt like it was kind of not entirely sure what market it was aiming at specifically. Yep. But can we talk about the little mouse rat in the room, Pikachu himself, Ryan Reynolds?
He was fantastic.
He was amazing.
I loved it.
Like, I know you have to look past the "this is Deadpool" as Pikachu voice, but he had his wit, he had his humor.
He had so much sass.
He was sassy. He was always on, and just the delivery with the facial expressions that he got was fantastic. And I think I saw some behind the scenes footage earlier. That was his facial work.
That's his You suspended that belief. And you saw so much emotion through Pikachu and some of the other Pokemon as well. Psyduck is a massive favourite in this. I loved it. And especially how Pikachu responds and reacts to other Pokemon as well. Because he's the only one in theory you can understand. Yeah,
which then leads into the revelation at the end as to why that is. And they tie it really well. I just thought it was rushed towards the end. They did have a few pacing issues throughout. Where they spent a lot of time really focusing on the relationship that Tim had with his father, or lack thereof, and dealing with the mystery of him going missing, whilst also dealing with the mystery of how these drugs are coming into Rhyme City and the Pokemon fights. It all makes sense, but it's just some small pacing issues that kind of really set back towards, especially the Torterra Garden part. Once it hit that was when the pacing really started to be noticeable. But overall, a fantastic effort. The support cast, they had big names as support us. Ken Watanabe is a great actor doing a very generic cop role. Yeah. Bill Nighy, he wasn't as prolific as he has been, but still plays the corporate businessman well with his son. Roger Clifford, who is played by Chris Greer. Overall, the supporting cast was kind of shunned for a focus on Pikachu and Tim.
Yes.
There was another member, Catherine Newton, who plays the reporter Lucy. I did not like.
I didn't mind. I just kind of, I know this sounds bad, but kind of just looked past her scenes and didn't really pay attention to her scenes.
Well, to me, the delivery was far too forced. Whereas, and this is a great credit to Justice Smith. He's acting with a CGI character.
He did so well.
He did a fantastic job. Just subtle movements like Pikachu jumping from shoulder to shoulder, and he's twisting his head and his shoulders are going, tripping over Pikachu when he's walking through his feet. There's just so many little intricacies there. And whilst the delivery of a lot of lines were standard kid movie fare, I actually commend Justice Smith on a really good role with this. And I hope to see some big things from him. But unfortunately, Catherine was very rigid in her delivery, and I was just like, okay, you're trying too hard.
The first scene when you see her, I found that really jarring.
It was cliche and very...
It was really cliche, and I understand like that aspect of her character coming through. But if I was Tim, I wouldn't have handled it the way he did.
No.
I would have been
nice.
He was very nice in that scene.
Yes, but he's nice and you're not. So
yeah, that's true.
That's how that works. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. The plot made a lot of sense.
Yep.
Some minor pacing issues. The CGI in the third act was kind of choppy.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad considering what they actually had to build. And what they had to do.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Seeing the Pokemon designs on screen, our first live adaptation. Really good. I loved it.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I'd probably give it a 7.5.
7.5? I'd give it a solid 7.
Yeah, 7.5 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The music was great. They had the classic themes mixed over contemporary themes and did it really well. It sounded like a video game. They had a lot of homages.
Yes, the one scene of Pikachu singing the opening Pokemon song.
Yes.
It nearly brought me to tears.
It did. You got really...
I was so teary in that moment because it was just so perfect.
And it reiterates why Bulbasaur is also the best starter Pokemon of all.
Ever.
Of all. The music was great. They mixed it in really well. It sounded like video game music mixed with orchestral themes. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope a lot of kids do as well.
Yeah, I hope a lot of adults do.
And adults, it's a very broad umbrella that it's fitting and appealing to people. And
it did an okay job.
It did a great job. I want to see more of it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
More Pokemon.
That is the main thing. Whenever I critique a movie, do I want to see more? Yeah, I do. I want to see a lot more of this. It's fantastic. And Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, fantastic. And the revelation at the end, heartfelt and heartwarming.
Heartwarming, yes. Cliche.
Very cliche.
Very cliche.
But
I'm okay with
that's Hollywood. It was very formulaic.
Yes.
That's what it was.
But it's okay.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts on Detective Pikachu in the comments below, not the trailer below. Did you agree with the movie? Did you enjoy it? What's your favourite Pokemon?
Yeah.
There's tons to choose from in there. So many. Greninja. The Panda Pokemon. Pandem something.
That looks so good.
I think there was an Ursaring in there. There was just heaps. Voltic. And they all had great sounds as well. But
did.
Let us know what your favourite Pokemon is in the comments below as well. And I'm Trent.
I'm Julia.
Subscribe to our channel. Follow our handles at Fortress Nerds on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And as always...
You're watching
The Fortress.